What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be installing some Hella horns in the front of my Crosstrek here, along with a wiring harness from Grimspeed. Hopefully this works on my car. It's for the 2018 Plus WRX and STI. I believe it's going to work on my car, and I guess we're going to find out. I'm also going to show you how to not only install these, but since I have this light bar on here, and it goes through the bumper down here, typically you would have to pull the whole bumper off to install these. That's what they recommend. In order to do that, I have to take this whole light bar off. But this grill will come out with a little bit of work. So hopefully, if I'm successful, I'm going to show you how to take this grill out without breaking it and install the Hella horns. All right, let's get started. All right, guys, first thing we need to do, pop this off. So take these clips off, and pop that cover off, get down in behind the grill, and remove the screws that hold the grill in. All right, guys, this is turning into a much bigger pain in the ass than I thought it was gonna be. So that's the factory horn mount. This is the SubiSpeed bracket. I was hoping to mount them like this. Well, first I was hoping to mount them to that hole right there and this one over here, but the hardware I have is not it's not small enough, so I was hoping to cut some corners, mount them there, maybe get kind of a little asymmetrical look. But this bracket wiggles and jiggles, and I think that's going to drive me nuts going down the road like that. I don't think that's good, so we'll see. I'm gonna try to figure something else out and find some hardware that'll fit those holes and mount them to each side like that. So, but again, this thing is turning into a huge pain in the ass. On top of that, I'm not sure that the SubiSpeed wiring harness that I have is gonna work. Let's see here. So there's the plug for it. Super nice looking wiring harness, but I don't think it's gonna work. Here's the factory horn plug. Hopefully you can see that. It doesn't fit that wiring harness, so I might have to trace this all back and figure out if there's something else that plugs into this. But I don't think there is, so we'll see. Hopefully this all works out and it's not like a huge 10-day project. All right, guys, so I got them mounted. Man, this thing has been a pain in the ass. So I ended up going to the hardware store, getting some new hardware. Let's see, you got some nice long bolts. I had to space it out a little bit so that they wouldn't hit the grill. So you can kind of see how that's all set up there. And so that's how they're gonna look. Now, this Grimspeed wiring harness that I got, the plug is not the same as this plug right here. This is the OEM horns. Then, to top it off, it won't reach between both horns. So, I got a $50 wiring harness. It looks really nice, really well put together. It's not gonna work at all. And hopefully I can return it. I don't know, we'll see. If not, I'll drive in there and talk to him. But I'm kind of bummed because I can't get it wired up today. But this has turned into a huge project, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of regret starting this project. They look cool. Hopefully once I get everything put back together, they look really nice, although they're not gonna make any sound for now. So I will keep you posted once I figure out a wiring solution. And hopefully I'm not gonna have to take the whole fucking front end apart again to get these things wired up. Hopefully I can just get a harness and go through the top. It's pretty easy to go through the top right here. But when I was reaching in there, I scratched my forearms all up. You can kind of see reaching way in there because this is a tight fit and this is a sharp edge right here. But hopefully I'll be able to get them wired through there once I put the whole front end back together, because I really don't want to take that apart again. It's a massive pain. All right, guys, so there they are. They're all installed. The front end's all put back together. I think they look pretty cool. I like the look of them, but they're still not wired up. I was going to take that wiring harness, hook everything up, and kind of leave the wiring harness zip tied under there until I could figure out a way to actually get it wired. But the wiring harness didn't fit. The cables didn't stretch far enough between the two horns, which was a little bit disappointing. So I still have to figure out all the wiring. Hopefully Grimspeed is cool and I can return that or exchange that wiring harness for something that's going to work for me. It's been kind of a hard to find something that's going to work because nothing says it's for the 2019 Crosstreks. So we'll see what's going to happen. This has been a huge pain in the ass. It's been about 3 hours now of dicking around with this, going to the hardware store, messing around with shit. You know, it cost me about $100 so far. I got a bracket I can't even use. So it's been a pain. I don't know yet if it's worth it. To be perfectly honest, I don't know yet. Once I get them all hooked up, we'll see then how I feel. I do think they look cool as hell, but man, it was a struggle getting them in there, and it should have been that hard. Now, I will say, if you have a Crosstrek and you're going to do the Hella horns and a light bar like this, especially a light bar where you have to go through the bumper, do the horns first. It would have been much easier to take the whole front bumper off and do it that way. I wouldn't have had to mess with taking the grill out. There's screws that hold it in. I mean, you can see my arms are all chewed up from reaching down inside there. Popping these clips off, all that shit. I wish I would have known that before I did the light bar. I would have done the horns first, for sure. Popping the front bumper off is not that big of a deal. It's just a couple of clips. Once you've done it a couple times, it's super easy. So if you're gonna do the horns and the light bar, do the horns first, for sure. Otherwise, if you're not gonna do a light bar, not a big deal. Things I wish I would have known before I started all this. But again, we'll see how I feel about them down the road once they're all hooked up. Something else I want to touch on real quick before I end this video was, originally I ordered the whole kit through SubiSpeed. Now, the kit came with the horns, the bracket, and a wiring harness. It's about $98 shipped, something along those lines. So I get a notification saying it's shipped. Awesome. I'm waiting for it. It shows up real quick. Open the box up. All that's in there is the bracket. The bracket, and I find out now that I can't use and it doesn't fit. So I emailed and said, hey, what's the deal? I only got the bracket. They emailed me back after a day and said, your horns are on the way. They ship from a different warehouse, but the wiring harness is coming from the factory, which I'm guessing is in China. They said it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. So on their website, it did not say that. It said the harness and it said the bracket and the horns were in stock. It said the harness was coming from the factory. It never said anything about time, nothing like that. So it was kind of frustrating. It bothered me a little bit. If I would have known, that's one thing, but when you don't list that on your website, it's just frustrating when a company does business like that. Now, what I will say is that once I emailed them and I said, hey, listen, the horns did show up another day later, but I said, I don't want to wait 4 to 6 weeks for a wiring harness. Can you refund me for the money for that? Now, they were pretty cool about that, and they said, no problem. They refunded me right away for the wiring harness, just the cost of the wiring harness. So that was great. But now I feel like maybe I'll be ordering a wiring harness from SubiSpeed. I don't fucking know. This is going to be continued, I guess, for now.